everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, hi, my name's Juliana. I go by Jules Marie here on YouTube. I'm going to be showing you guys today how I get a really flawless complexion, and I'm not going to be using anything too pricey. I tried to keep it as affordable as I could, so that way it's just these easy tips and tricks that help you achieve this really beautiful, flawless foundation look. If you guys would, please subscribe if you are new so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I make videos every single week on all things beauty, and without further ado, let's get right on into this flawless foundation routine. Hey everyone, welcome back. So I'm going to get right on into how I get a really flawless, kind of poreless look to my foundation. It's super simple and I'm going to teach you guys some tips and tricks. So the first thing that I do is I start off with this clarifying lotion from Clinique. It goes by a number system, which kind of specifies it to your skin type. So I use the number 1 because this is for very dry to dry skin. And what I do is I just put this on a cotton round and I put it all over my skin just to take off any leftover like oils. It helps to daily exfoliate. So this just pretty much evens out my skin tone, gets rid of any dirt or oil, and then gives me a really smooth, clean surface. This has changed the way that my foundation lays on my skin so much. So I would 100% recommend this product. And then as well, I follow up with the moisturizer. My moisturizer of choice is the Clinique Moisture Surge. It's aloe based and it has hyaluronic acid, so it just kind of like plumps my skin. And I use it as my foundation primer a lot, especially when I'm in a pinch. It works like 2-in-1. I'm all about that. So that's what I start off prepping my skin with, and that's also made a huge difference in the way that my foundation lays on my skin. So today the foundation that I'm using, I'm sure if you guys have watched any of my videos, it's no surprise. It's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I didn't want to pick a foundation that was super pricey for you guys because this look is super achievable for really anyone. So I picked this one. It's also my diehard favorite. It gives a really nice semi-matte finish. So what I do to start off after I've already prepped my skin, sometimes I'll use a primer. Today I'm not going to. Like I said, that moisturizer, the Moisture Surge, kind of works 2-in-1 for me. So what I do is I start off with untwisting the cap, and then I'm going to kind of push my hair behind here, and I'm going to show you exactly how I apply the foundation to my skin. So I literally just take the spatula and I do like 2 lines here, a line on my chin, a little bit on my nose, and then a little bit on my forehead. I do like a little, so I look a little crazy at first. Then I'm going to be taking one of the brushes that I got in that Amazon set. I ordered brushes from Amazon. This is called the BS Small Face Flat Angled Brush. So it's a kabuki style, so it means like it's really compact bristles, and it's angled, so it's able to really get right up close to the skin and blend out really easily. So I just take this and I blend my foundation all into my skin. And what I do is I use circular motions to really work the product in, and then I tap in areas where I need a little bit more coverage to help build it up a little more. Alrighty, and now you can see that really blended out nicely, and like I said, I swirled it out in areas where I needed less coverage and tapped in areas where I needed more coverage. So what I do is kind of a little extra step is I take my beauty blender and I take the beauty blender on the flat side and just really press the foundation into the skin. I find this helps to not let it cake up, and it just gives you a really natural finish. So I'm just going to go around my entire face and just pat in the foundation with this beauty blender from Real Techniques. Okay, so that's all I do with my foundation. 2 super simple steps, and it just takes a couple minutes. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer, and again, I'm going pretty affordable with these products for the most part, as much as I could, just because I didn't want you guys to feel like I was using all of these expensive products and that's how the foundation looked the way it did. It's all about these little tips and tricks and techniques. So this is from LA Girl. It's their Pro Concealer. I use this all the time. I love it. Like I said, if you've watched any of my videos, you're probably like, Juliana, I've heard this a million times. But it really does work well. And I use the shade Porcelain. So I'm just going to apply this in a upside down triangle, and then I'm also going to hit any spots where I have a little bit of breakouts. I have some right in here, and then like one there, and then in the middle of my forehead, tip of my nose, and on my chin as well. And then to blend all of this out, I'm going to go back in with that Real Technique sponge and just lightly tap out all of that concealer. Alrighty, now that that's all blended in, I'm going to go in with my translucent powder. Sorry, I saw a little bit at the corner of my eye. So now that that's all blended in, I'm actually going to go in with a translucent powder. This is what I use to cover up my skin, especially right where I put that concealer. I don't really do my translucent powder all over my skin because I do have a little bit of drier skin, so sometimes putting too much powder can kind of dry out my skin. But the translucent powder that I absolutely love is the Urban Decay Velvatizer. This is a new product for me. I've only been using it for about a month, but I absolutely love it. It gives you a really airbrushed look to the skin, and it's got a little bit of a yellow tone, so it's really brightening as well. So I'm just going to take an e.l.f. brush that I've had forever. It's actually a blush brush, but the tapered top helps me get right underneath the eyes really nicely. And I'm just going to set, I'm not going to bake, I'm just going to tap that powder really lightly on top of wherever I put that concealer. And then that will kind of give me a really airbrushed look. And then I'm also going to put a lot, or not a lot, but I'm also going to set right around the nose area as well. Alrighty, now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with bronzer just to really bring some life back into the skin. And I'm going to be using the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. This one's really nice for the summertime because it's waterproof and it literally does not budge. It's amazing. So I'm going to take my it's one of those angled fluffy brushes. Doesn't have a name on it, unfortunately. But I'm just going to take a little swirl here, tap off the excess, and just go in those areas in kind of that three-word motion just to give a little bit of bronze to the skin. Alrighty, now that we've got that bronzer put on, I'm just going to add a little bit of shine and luminosity back into the skin. So I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Precious Petals. I'm just going to take this and then I'm going to spray it with my MAC Fix Plus because it adds such a pretty, like, it melts right on into the skin and it's just a lot more pigmented. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and then I find when I first apply it, it can look a little muddy at first, so I'm going to go in with that Real Technique sponge and just press it right on into the skin. And then I'm going to take that same brush, not adding any other product, and put it right on the lip. And then put that Real Technique sponge just to blend it out. Alrighty, and then the final step that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of blush to the skin just to kind of warm it up. I'm going to take my NARS Orgasm blush and I'm just going to apply that right to the cheekbones to give a little bit more life. Okay, psych, I'm not going to apply the NARS Orgasm. I'm going to take the Urban Decay. It's in the shade Score. It's one of their 8-hour afterglow blushes. I honestly don't know if they carry this anymore, but it's just a really pretty peachy blush. It really reminds me of the NARS Orgasm as well. So any blush that you have that has that really nice peach tone to it, it'll also add a little bit of luminosity as well. I'm going to grab my blush brush. I don't know why that's the hardest thing for me to say. And I'm going to apply this right to the tops of my cheeks and kind of blend it backwards. And my blush brush is from Bare Minerals. Alrighty, and that's the final look. I'm just going to follow up with some lip gloss real quick. And I'm taking one of the new Buxom, they're holographic, I believe it's called. It's like the lip toppers. This is in the shade MARRIE. It's amazing. It's like such a pretty gloss, and it adds like a little bit of shine to the lips, but it doesn't change my lip color too much, so it keeps it pretty true to what I have. Look how pretty that is. It's gorgeous. It adds that really nice sheen to it, and they're minty, so they're a little bit plumping as well. That is the final look. I went ahead and I did my eyes before I got on camera. I just did the bronzer, the Park Avenue Princess in the crease, and then I took that Precious Petals highlighter, and then took the Stila felt tip liner to create a little wing. So that is the final look. I'm going to go ahead, and what I do as my final step is I'll take my MAC Fix Plus and spray the entire skin with it. Sorry, I'm looking around for it. It's the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. I spray my entire skin with this, and then it creates a little bit more of that luminosity so you don't look super flat. So I'm going to go spray a couple sprays real quick. Alright you guys, I am back. I just let the Fix Plus kind of settle into my skin and dry. So this is the final look, so you guys can kind of get a close-up. Alrighty, I hope you guys really liked it. I tried to use really affordable products for you guys, so that way you didn't feel like you had to go out and buy like $70 or $80 products to achieve this look. It's super simple, and it has really changed how my foundation applies to my skin and just making it look more flawless and a little bit more natural on the skin. So if you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe before you go so that way you don't miss out on any of my videos. Thank you so much for watching again. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!